Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch for our AEW Revolution preview and predictions. We are going to break down the card for this Sunday, March 6th, live on pay-per-view. All Elite Wrestling presents Revolution 2022, and we are here to give our predictions, discuss it with all of you. Of course, I am here with a steam cast of colleagues here. First, we have the face and ace of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon.
What's up? How's everyone doing tonight? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to everyone out there. And we have the man known as the True Heel marijuana enthusiast himself, Chris G.
Ooh, I'm high and I'm ready for the revolution.
The best way to experience a revolution. And welcome to all of you watching with us live. If you're joining with us live, remember to drop a thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with everyone here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. So we want to hear your thoughts, your predictions for AEW Revolution, where it ranks up against the other Revolution cards, as well as other AEW pay-per-views. We want to hear from all of you in the live chat. And of course, your super chat donations are appreciated. It helps out the channel oh so much. So always you can support us in that way, and we will highlight your comment on screen. So if you have a good prediction, have a good thought on AEW Revolution, that super chat donation is the best way to highlight yourself on screen with us. And if you're watching us on Facebook or Twitch, like the video, share it with your friends there as well. But guys, before we get into the card, what do you guys overall think? Or a couple of days out from AEW Revolution, how are you feeling?
I will say that this almost should be the best AEW pay-per-view of all time. All time. Better than both of those that were the end of last year. That were some of the greatest.
Yeah, I would put the two last year with AEW Revolution 2020, which was a great card and had one of the greatest tag team matches of all time, and Double or Nothing 2019 as like the four best AEW pay-per-views. But this lineup is very intriguing. What about you, Chris G?
Yeah, I mean, I think it got the potential to be, I don't know if it's going to be better than All Out, but I think it has the potential to definitely be up there with those. And as we get closer, I'm getting more excited.
Absolutely. So we have 9 matches on the main show. We have 2 matches on the buy-in, so 11 matches in total. And a rarity that the buy-in matches are actually built feuds. It's not just thrown together tag team matches for the women, but we have 3 women's matches on this card. AEW making history. It is a revolution. And of course, you know, I know Romeo was on the live reactions from AEW Dynamite. Chris G, you weren't, so want to go to you first. What's your reaction to now ROH to AEW confirmed, as Tony Khan has bought ROH just a few days out from Revolution?
It's always good to see Tony Khan flex a little bit, but I mean, this is more than flexing. He just put his whole deck on the table. It's just like, I own another company, baby. We changing the world. That's not what I was expecting, even though like people were kind of throwing it out there, like, oh, he's buying Ring of Honor, buying Ring of Honor. But they caught me off guard. I like it. I think I heard that they're going to try to turn it into a developmental territory. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's the idea with it, why not? If he wants to keep Ring of Honor like it is and just like, you know, rebrand it a little bit, that's cool too. I don't know. There's a lot of interest.
You know what's funny? When Vince bought WCW, wasn't that also on the Go Home show to WrestleMania?
Yeah.
That's funny. This was a Go Home show too.
to what Cody in the past has said, it should be viewed as AEW's WrestleMania Revolution. So what about that's Cody's words. That's what I said. Cody's words, not mine, not anyone else that I heard from AEW.
That guy doesn't work here anymore. For now.
Romeo. Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask you, Romeo, because we got to see your live reaction to Tony Khan buying ROH. So I won't ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about Cody Rhodes talks with WWE fizzling out, according to our friend, former guest on True Hill Heat podcast, Cassidy Haynes of BodySlam.net. And as I've said once, I've said before, Cassidy Haynes is someone that has sources in AEW. I've seen it firsthand.
Absolutely.
So what do you think about the talks with Cody and WWE fizzling out?
I definitely believe the report, but it's just so Cody Rhodes to like. I know it's not his fault, but it's funny when you look at it. It's grandstanding the news of the ROH thing. It's just grandstanding Cody. It's the Codyverse taking center stage once again. It's funny.
It's hilarious. And of course, join us live tomorrow, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, True Hill Heat 165, as we are joined by special guests, the Daily Boys reunion, as it's going to be Alex McCarthy and Sat E. Nyangi joining myself and Miss Chrissy Love, where we will talk more in depth about Tony Khan buying ROH, as well as Cody and WWE talks fizzling out. But we are here to talk about AEW Revolution 2022. And let's start with the buy-in. And let's start with the buy-in main event, which is Hook is on a buy-in. This is going to be the most viewed video maybe in YouTube history, definitely in AEW history, because Hook is on a buy-in. He will be versing his former trainer, QT Marshall. Marshall has thrown multiple people from the factory at Hook, and Hook has destroyed each and every one of them, including a couple of weeks ago on the ramp, and he suplexed QT Marshall on the ramp on an episode of Rampage and walked over him like he was Allen Iverson, and QT Marshall was Tyrone Lue. Chris G. Hook all the way?
Hook all the way, man. This is the first time I'm excited to see QT Marshall in a match. And it's not even because of him. I'm ready to see Hook, baby. Let's go.
Romeo?
Yeah, this will be a good way to get the crowd fired up in anticipation for the pay-per-view. Not that they need firing up for this card, but yeah.
Yeah, I think both of the matches that they got on the buy-in, it's to get the crowd excited. They're going to be into Hook destroying QT Marshall. So yes, I got Hook on that one. And then we got a third women's match on this card on the buy-in. It's going to be legit Layla Hirsch going one-on-one with Chris Statlander. These two women used to be friends, teaming up with one another, but their losses kind of caused dissension with one another, as Layla Hirsch felt like money was being taken out of her pocket and turned heel, attacking Chris Statlander and their friend Red Velvet. And ever since then, we've heard a lot of war of words, including Chris Statlander saying that no wonder Layla Hirsch's parents gave her up for adoption, and Layla Hirsch doesn't give no shits about Chris Statlander ever since. So, Romeo, who you got?
Fuck, that line is gonna make me cry. I like Chris Statlander. I would be rooting for her, but that line was so messed up. I'm gonna have to go with Layla. Yeah, Layla needs to whoop her ass for that.
Raging Jay says this show is gonna suck so bad, and he's probably like getting tickets right now, or he already has tickets, right?
Nothing new for him to go to a show that says it's gonna suck.
Absolutely. And let's screenshot this just in case he's one of the people that's raving about this show. Please do, ladies and gentlemen.
Raven J.
Yes, Raven J. Chris G, who you got, Layla Hirsch or Chris Statlander?
I think I'm gonna go with Layla. I think they need to build up a few more heels in that women's division. Because Jade Cargill's slowly turning into a baby face. So they're gonna need to build up some heels.
Because she's so damn cool. That's why.
I know. She's shit.
Romeo, who did you have again?
Layla.
So I think we're all going for Layla Hirsch here. Yeah, this is a good way to kind of build her up a little bit, get her some momentum. But I think it's going to be a good match, and everyone's going to have a good showing here. I don't see the graphic here, Romeo, so you're going to have to pull this one up. But the Face of the Revolution ladder match returns at AEW Revolution, as it will be, I believe, I've heard two different reports. I've heard 6 men or 7 men in this matchup. The 6 man will be determined.
So Excalibur said 7. They're saying it might have been a mistake. I think if there was going to be a mystery one or a 7th one, they would have been pushing it more than just saying it in passing during a 1,000 match announcement they were making there on Dynamite.
When Excalibur goes on his auctioneer voice and he wants to run through all the lineup for Dynamite, Rampage, and Revolution, but it will be Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs, Wardlow, Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, and the winner of Ethan Page versus Christian Cage on Rampage tonight in a 6-way ladder match to determine the winner who will get a shot at the TNT Championship. Romeo, who you got in this one?
I'm going to go with what makes the best storyline going forward, not who's, brand new and needs a win. I'm going to go with Wardlow based on what MJF said this past Wednesday on Dynamite. That just makes a more intriguing storyline going forward. Keith Lee doesn't lose anything from losing a ladder match. Don't worry, folks.
Chris G, who you got in this one?
As much as my heart wants Keith Lee to win, I mean, I'm in the same boat with Romeo. And I like Wardlow, so I wouldn't mind Romeo taking it. Wardlow taking it either.
I don't want this to be a complete night where MJF is wrong, so I'm not going to go with Wardlow, but yes, he is probably one of the favorites to win this matchup. I'm going to go with Keith Lee. Keith Lee needs to win more. It makes sense. Him and Sammy Guevara will have an absolute banger, or whoever wins the 3-way tonight between Sammy, Andrade, and Darby would have a banger with Keith Lee. I think that he is a guy that they should position very highly off the bat and maybe should be the guy that gets a shot at the TNT Championship and just beat Sammy for it. I want him to get that type of push, so I'm going to go full speed ahead. It's still Black History Month to me. It's Black History Year. I'm going with Keith Lee.
All right.
I like the Wardlow story, but there's still time, and they heated it up a bit, and they can still get to it because of that slap. That slap is more important than him winning any TNT Championship or the ladder match here. But we got a championship matchup. It's going to be Jade Cargill defending the TBS Championship against Ty Conti. Jade Cargill, of course, the first ever TBS champion, defeating Ruby Soho in the tournament finals. She's defeated Anna Jay. She's defeated the Bunny, AQA, and she's made open challenges to anyone. And Ty Conti was one of the people that accepted the open challenge for Revolution here. And Jade Cargill has not taken her seriously at all, kissing her on the forehead when she accepted the challenge, as well as this week saying that she doesn't want to hear none of that martial arts bullshit, as we have lost Romeo for a second here. Chris G, who do you got, Jade Cargill or Ty Conti?
As much as I like Ty, come on, got to go with Jade. I don't see Ty beating her. Now, I don't know who's going to beat her and who's going to take the title from her, but I don't see it changing hands now.
Yeah, I don't see it being the time just yet. She is the type. I've been hearing the comparisons, and I think this is AEW's chance to make their own Goldberg. They don't need a male Goldberg. They need a female Goldberg. Her as TBS champion should go on for a little bit longer, a couple of more months, and then you build up to the big pay-per-view matchup where she versus the AEW Women's World Champion. So Jade Cargill wins. Romeo, who you got, Jade or Ty?
Jade easily. There's nothing to think about here. Your suggestion of building up to her versus the TNT, the women's champion. I don't know. I kind of want to see Britt Baker take a break and then come back a babyface, and I want that to be the major confrontation: Britt versus Jade.
That could be very interesting. I think that it's very intriguing and interesting who might win the Women's World Championship matchup, as we will get into based on what we saw the booking over the last week. We got Raging J, Drunk Guy JJ trying to make up for himself, saying, "Come on, man, you know this card fire," and then he says, "Can't wait." Now this, we got. We got CM Chris joining us. What's going on, CM Chris? Great to see you here. We got Alan Weinstein who says, I think Keith Lee wins here. And he also has Jade Cargill and CM Chris giving us all his predictions here, saying Hook, Chris Statlander, and Keith Lee for the first 3 matches you guys have said. And then he goes with Jade Cargill to win the title match. You can share your predictions in the live chat. Super chat donations are always encouraged and appreciated. It helps the channel out so much. So we always encourage that. Next up, let's talk about which one should we go. Let's go to this here. We got a Tornado Trios match, as it's going to be the AHFO, Matt Hardy, Andrade El Idolo, and Isaiah Cassidy of Private Party versus the TNT champion, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Sting. So this is the first ever AEW Tornado Trios match. This all started with Andrade not understanding the concept of friendship or any type of relationships with human beings outside of Charlotte Flair, and he tried to buy Darby from Sting. Of course, they refused that proposal. Darby Allin got a shot at Sammy Guevara's TNT Championship, which Andrade interfered to cost Darby that matchup. He then got a shot at the TNT Championship, which Matt Hardy kind of botched for him, and he lost that matchup. And now we have the 3-way on Rampage, but this is a big schmoz to end it all here. I'm going with Sting, Darby, and Sammy because the AHFO as presently conception needs to be destroyed on this show to set up for the arrival of Brother Nero. Chris G, who you got?
Just saying that gets me hyped. Yeah, bring on Brother Nero. I definitely got Sting. I mean, Sting don't lose, man. Every time you see Sting out there, they're getting done.
He is undefeated in AEW, ladies and gentlemen. He should be in the rankings. Romeo.
Agreed. This match should be on Rampage tonight, and the Rampage TNT Triple Threat should be on the card on Sunday.
I understand actually what they're doing here because the 3-way on this card, it's gonna get overshadowed. Like there's a lot of matches that are in the running that could potentially become match of the night, and on Friday, that's going to be the match of the night there, the 3-way. I mean, Ethan Page and Christian Cage is going to be good, but that 3-way with Sammy, Darby, and Andrade will stand out more on that card than they would on this card. Plus, you already have a 3-way on this card. And the TNT Championship has only been defended on pay-per-view, I believe, like 3 times in like the 2 years it's been in this company. So yeah, I understand their booking and their thinking here.
Well, I hate it.
When is Jeff's clause up? Like, when is he able to sign?
Wednesday is the end of his non-compete clause.
Oh damn, that
fitting.
sucks. Oh well, yeah.
Poetic justice. But here we got another match. This is going to be more of a grudge match here, as it's going to be Eddie Kingston going one-on-one with Chris Jericho. These two men started feuding due to Santana and Ortiz helping out Kingston in his wars against Daniel Garcia and 2.0. 2.0 and Daniel Garcia took out Chris Jericho. Both men had the same enemies, but they didn't care. They didn't like each other, and kind of felt Kingston tried to put Santana and Ortiz against Chris Jericho, saying that he's the reason they haven't won titles or championship gold in AEW. This caused dissension in the entire inner circle right now, which Santana and Ortiz did tease that they forgive Chris Jericho and they're going to let it go this week on Dynamite. But now the issue is more about Jericho and Kingston, with Jericho saying that Kingston has never won the big one, and here in AEW, Chris Jericho is the big one. Romeo's preparing. Go ahead.
You think my pick's going to be a little biased? Maybe. Yeah, I'm going with Eddie Kingston with the win here. I hope it's clean, but I wouldn't be surprised it's because Santana and Ortiz help him, just so Jericho could feel good about himself. He's protected a little bit. Oh, Jericho.
Who you got in this one, Chris G?
Yeah, I'm going with Eddie as well. No bias. Slight bias. Jericho, look, you see Jericho, my man Jericho in shape finally. He's back in shape.
Good for him.
Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy for Jericho. He really trimmed down a lot, so you have to hand it to him. Getting in shape, getting ready for this big match at Revolution. But at Revolution, he is 0-2. So I don't know if this is going to be a theme, but he really has been playing the role of The Rock ahead of No Mercy 2001, and Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston is playing the role of Chris Jericho because for a long time for both men during these time periods, they didn't win the big one. Eddie Kingston has never won on pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. He's never won on pay-per-view in AEW. While Chris Jericho had lost a lot of big matches to like Triple H and Chris Benoit at that time and never won the world title. So it set them up finally bringing that kind of story thread, that narrative into the perspective of someone actually saying you never won the big one, led to them eventually winning the big one for Chris Jericho at No Mercy 2001. And I think it's going to be the same for Eddie Kingston. He wins the big one here. Plus you have still more story to tell with him potentially winning his first championship in AEW, but he needs that first big win here. So I'm going with Eddie.
So either way, somebody's streak ends here.
It's true. It is true. One streak will end. Either Eddie Kingston will win a match on pay-per-view, or Chris Jericho will win at Revolution. Couple of picks and predictions in the live chat here. Keep it coming, and of course, super chat donations always help out. CM Chris saying Team Sting to win, AHFO to split, and that is when Jeff Hardy comes to AEW on the next Dynamite. We also got Kid Get Money quoting Andrade. How much for the new kid? Alan Weinstein says this is the AHFO dissolves, and we end up with an Andrade versus Matt Hardy feud until Jeff comes.
Ugh.
Damn, I see a lot of people don't like this whole trios match, saying this is a match to take a break. Damn,
you're gonna have to choose your breaks wisely on Sunday.
We got CM saying Eddie wins here. We also got Alan Weinstein saying Mad King needs the win here. Jericho can take the L. EBB joining us. Welcome, EBB, saying I think Eddie wins and Jericho goes against his word and attacking him after the match. That's I can see that.
Pretty clever because Jericho really hyped that up. Like, I'll shake your hand. No, you won't. No, you won't.
Exactly. Show the real Jericho. We know you're a jerk. We know you're swarmy. So yeah,
Jericho's the best.
Absolutely. People will still sing Judas though.
Fickle.
You fickle fucks.
I'm kind of fucking sick of it, and I was loving it.
There you go. Remember, I was the first one. I was the first one.
He's like,
come over. Grew weary.
Come over to the dark side. This one could be a potential show stealer for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It will be the artist formerly known as Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus versus Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, Red Dragon, versus the Young Bucks. Red Dragon gained this opportunity by winning the Battle Royal 2 weeks ago on AEW Dynamite after Kyle O'Reilly fooled Matt Jackson to eliminate him last. Then on the Casino Tag Team Royale this past week on Dynamite, the Young Bucks won due to an assist from Red Dragon. So it seems like they're on the same page. Adam Cole's school friends and his work friends working together as they will verse Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, who beat the Lucha Bros on the first episode of AEW Dynamite of 2022 on TBS. Who wins this three-way, which should be an absolute banger? Chris G.
Man, why you gotta start with me? I mean, fuck. I don't see the Young Bucks getting it back yet. I also don't see. I don't know. I see Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy retaining. There's too much tension between the other two teams, and they got to have that match, that straight up tag team match. So I'm gonna say Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy retain.
Romeo.
Man, oh man, Jurassic Express. How cold they have gotten. They've taken a backseat in this. This is about Red Dragon versus Young Bucks. And I think one of those two teams are going to win. We're going to have new champs. I am going to go with, it's a toss-up for me, but I'm going to go with Red Dragon. And Jurassic Express, we can move on. We can start this heel turn of Christian Cage turning on them. We can get to that Christian and Jungle Boy sometime soon.
So they won the titles, Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus, and Jungle Boy on the January 5th episode of AEW Dynamite. They have defended the titles against Private Party, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds. Two good teams. Butcher and the Blade, another good team. Also, the Gun Club was like a team that they feuded with for a number of weeks. It just feels like they are the third team out. I do agree with Romeo. So it would lead me to believe that Red Dragon could win this one to kind of put the titles on that feud that it deserves the most attention. And plus, those two teams have had absolutely great matches, including one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen live in ROH at War of the Worlds 2014. All of that being said, they're not going to that tag team match just yet. There's time to get to Red Dragon winning the tag team titles in a straight up tag team match. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus need this victory so bad. They need to beat one of the top tag teams. The top echelon of tag teams in AEW is Red Dragon, the Young Bucks, FTR, Santana and Ortiz, and the Lucha Bros. They got to beat one of those teams. In one shot, they can beat two of them. So this is a big win for them. They need it. So I'm going with Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Next, we're going to have a not really a grudge match, but a match about respect and history. We got Jon Moxley going one-on-one with Bryan Danielson. For weeks since Moxley returned from inpatient rehab, he's been on a roll, but Bryan Danielson has been watching all along. We thought it was because he wanted a match with Moxley, but instead he proposed a partnership to display their version of violence, their brand of violence on AEW, and recruit younger superstars like Wheeler Yuta or Lee Moriarty or Daniel Garcia to make a new stable and influence the future of AEW. Moxley said, "You can't stand side by side with me without bleeding with me first." So this is how we got to this showdown right here. Moxley brought up how Bryan Danielson has defeated him every single time they have met in the ring, and he needs this victory. He feels like he is going down a path that either ends with him getting his head fucking kicked in or him finally beating the Dragon. Who wins, Romeo?
Yeah, Moxley slays the Dragon. See what I did there? Bryan bleeds with him. He earned his respect. I don't know if we'll see the stable that everyone has been clamoring about. I think we do see it, but I think Bryan leads it, and I think Moxley continues to be a lone wolf. I think Moxley is just better suited in that role.
I think this is another one where you get the double shot because, like I said, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy really need to beat one of those top tag teams, those 5 tag teams I named up, and they're having an opportunity on the show to beat 2 of them. For Moxley, this is a chance for AEW to get Moxley back on the path he was before he went to rehab. He was on a path to getting a match with Hangman Page for the AEW World Championship, and he was on a path to being a heel. So I think that he's on that path by beating Bryan Danielson, but bleeding with him first and showing some respect. And this partnership is how we do the slow burn turn of Jon Moxley to heel them. So I'm going with Moxley to win this one and potentially get a shot at Hangman Page or Adam Cole after this pay-per-view. Chris G, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mox as well. I wish there was a draw. Because these guys, I just want to see them beat each other and nobody wins. Just beat the shit out of each other for 60 minutes. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Mox.
I mean, that wouldn't be the most far-fetched thing with these two. Like where neither one can continue. It's that bad, that ugly.
Yeah, it really makes sense with like the story that they've done so far. That is a potential finish that they could do is like a draw or like a no contest with them just bleeding in the ring. And with everything else on the night, I don't think it would be too much of a disappointing conclusion to the match. And it leaves the door open where neither man has won going into a rematch.
Chris, check the odds of that on FanDuel. What's the odds for a draw? How much money can we get?
Yeah, tell me about the bets.
Don't ask me to put it on. If I put the bet, the fucking lights are gonna go out. The event might not even happen. We're not doing that. Not for this show.
Bills Mafia SDF says Jericho is winning this thing. People are going to be pissed. Hangman needs to beat Jericho in this reign to avenge All Out 2019. That's an interesting idea and could be Jericho beating Kingston to get there, although I would hate that conclusion so much. CM Chris says Jurassic Express to keep the tag titles. We also got Region J says this match is going to be nuts, talking about the 3-way tag titles. CM Chris says Red Dragon and Young Bucks won't coexist. No, they won't. Alan Weinstein going for Jurassic Express here. As either Bucks or Red Dragon cause the other to lose, and we end up with Bucks and Red Dragon. I don't think their first match in AEW is going to not be for the AEW World Tag Team titles.
I've been saying the same thing. Like when that match happens, they're going to want it to be for the tag titles.
Yeah, they're going to want the attention on it. It's great to have a feud outside the tag team titles that, is interesting, but that's too big of a matchup, in my opinion.
And that match is going to be so good. You want people to look back on it. Oh, that was a tag team championship match.
Exactly. Raging J saying Jurassic Express for that one. Kid Get Money saying Young Bucks have true heel heat, so I want anybody to win but them. Okay. We got Bills Mafia CF saying Jurassic Express retains and drops the titles to Santana and Ortiz. I know you want to see that, Romeo.
Yeah, you shouldn't ask us. You shouldn't ask. Don't even ask us.
No, that's the plan. That's the plan in my mind. Shit.
You biased New York Ricans. CM Chris says Moxley wins. We got EBB who says, I don't want Red Dragon to win when they haven't even had a straight up tag match. Yeah, they haven't had a tag match in AEW yet. But I get that Kyle O'Reilly was on paternity leave. Jurassic Express for the win. Yeah, I think that Red Dragon probably will be the next AEW World Tag Team Champions, and I hate that for Santana Ortiz that they're kind of skipping the line, but they are the type of tag team you want to kind of establish as one of your top tag teams and be in the gold. I think like Santana and Ortiz are the Hangman Page of the tag team division. They're doing the long-term story where they get close, they get their title shots, they lose, and then they're going to build to the big moment, probably in New York City where they win the gold.
Hey, there we go. Now we're talking September.
Yeah, why not? Why not a Grand Slam too? Bills Mafia STF says this is the toughest match to call, truly 50-50. I lean Dragon because Mox made a point that he has never beaten him. So yeah.
I think there's a tougher match to call on this card. Maybe
there is the next couple of matches are hard to call. One of these is due to like the booking of the last week. Others are just due to how things have shaped out. But let's talk about a match I'm looking forward to. For the AEW Women's World Championship, it will be Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Thunder Rosa. A little over a year ago, they versed in the Lights Out match, the first ever AEW Lights Out match on Dynamite, as well as the first ever all-women's main event of Dynamite, and in the history of AEW, with Thunder Rosa getting the victory. But Britt Baker beat Thunder Rosa at Beach Break when a match was official, so she is officially 1-0 over Thunder Rosa. She went on to win the AEW Women's World Championship at Double or Nothing. She has reigned as champion for the past 9 months since there, going on 10 months now. Is her reign about to come to an end from the woman that beat her in the Lights Out match, her arch enemy, or is Britt Baker's reign going to be revitalized with a great match versus Thunder Rosa and her continuing the reign? The reason I asked that question is because of what happened on Dynamite with Thunder Rosa pitting her in tag team action. We all know Wrestling 101, the challenger pins the champion on the pay-per-view. They're going to lose at the pay-per-view, but this is a match that a lot of people thought was a foregone conclusion. So I love that booking because I think our question going in here would be, is Thunder Rosa not going to win this title? How can she not? So I think they did a great job with that booking where now it's kind of a mystery what they're going to do. But Romeo, what do you think?
Yeah, when you're on top of the True Heel Heat predictions leaderboard like I am, it's because you don't fall for little booking tropes like that. You don't fall for that. You look past that. Nice try, Tony. I'm not falling for it. Thunder Rosa wins. This time it counts for real.
Chris G?
Yeah, I'm with Romeo. I think Thunder Rosa gets the title, man.
I am in agreement. Absolutely. Look at, come on. What was me? You thought I was not gonna pick Thunder Rosa? I already said the True Heel Heat account on Twitter over the weekend will be a Thunder Rosa Stan account, as she is about to become the AEW Women's World Champion. She supported us. We support her all day, every day. Crown Thunder Rosa. At the same time, I do understand people who might go the opposite way with Britt Baker, because they could do something where she does it by nefarious means and gets the win. And then in 2 weeks, they're in Thunder Rosa's spiritual home of Texas in the 1-year anniversary of the Lights Out match. So they could prolong it by 2 weeks to just give that moment. So I'm not saying that it's out the realm of possibility for anyone to think that Britt Baker can win. But Thunder Rosa's winning.
F that noise. And I say start the show with this match. Start the show with the title change.
I agree. That would be a strong opener to the show. The tag titles as well. The Face of the Revolution ladder match as well. But we got to talk about the top 2 matches. And no, Tony, I'm talking about this match first before I talk about the real main event. Let's talk about the AEW World Championship on the line. Hangman Adam Page will go one-on-one with Adam Cole. Tony Khan has said this will be the main event of the show. Hangman Page won at the last pay-per-view in the main event, in the greatest main event on AEW pay-per-view of all time, with Kenny Omega, where he beat him for the title. Since then, he went to a draw, 60-minute draw, in one of the best Dynamite matches at Winter is Coming against Bryan Danielson. Defeated Danielson on the first episode of Dynamite of 2022 on TBS. Then defeated against Lance Archer in a match that no one had high expectations for and was an absolute great Texas death match. And now he versed his biggest challenge to date in a person that knows him very well, the older Adam brother to him in ROH, brought him into the Bullet Club, which started Hangman Page's ascent in his career as he joined up with the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club. It all started with Adam Cole bringing him in, but Adam Cole's in a place where he is coming off of 2 feuds he's lost to Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy in AEW. He's the number 1 contender for the title. He's been a champion wherever he's been, but he's seen the success of AEW and he feels like an odd man out. So it's 2 guys with polarizing character points, but who's going to be the better Adam, Chris G, at Revolution?
I love Adam Cole, man. We all do, but I don't think it's time to take the title off of Hangman yet. So even though Adam Cole would be a good guy to do it, but I just think it's too soon. So I'm going to stick with Hangman.
Romeo?
It's time. It's time to get the title off of Hangman Page. And there's no better guy to do it than Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole wins this.
How disrespectful are you?
I took everything you said and said the opposite.
I know. Like it's ridiculous.
I think this is the hardest match to call. I'll be honest.
What?
I think it is.
I don't know about all that, Chief. But I mean, this is a good card in general, because a lot of these matches can go either way, and you could realistically see it going either way, like what we're gonna get into with the real main event, the most anticipated match on the show. We got EBB reacting to Romeo saying, whoa, Romeo, what?
Tell you what, when you're on top of the True Heel Heat predictions leaderboard like I am,
yeah,
people are not always going to agree with you.
Now
Clearly, they're not going to agree with you.
Oh my God!
If they agreed with you, they would be in first. If they agreed with you.
He just throws these picks in every, like, for Elimination Chamber, it was Charlotte and Sonya beating Naomi and Ronda when he knew they weren't going to win. And this time it's Adam Cole when he knows
Adam Cole win? Why can't he win? Why not?
Because we know the person they're grooming. We know who they're grooming to beat Hangman Page. CM Chris says Thunder Rosa for the win. Alan Weinstein says Rosa, it's time for a Thunder Rosa title reign. We got Bill's Mafia STF says Rosa is going to win. TK trying to work us dorks. Yes. We also got CM Chris who says Hangman wins. We got Alan Weinstein who says I think Page retains. We also got him saying Romeo feeling himself as predictions leader. Need to take him down a peg. There you go. Look at that. We got Bills Mafia STF saying Hangman earned the main event. I personally don't care if the build seemed lackluster to some. I think this build up and Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker should be more. It should feel more anticipation, even though we know both matches are going to deliver. And I think that's the testament you're going by. We still could have had better stories, especially Adam Cole and Hangman Adam Page, because there was a lot of story to be told there.
Both matches are going to deliver. This match in particular, I cannot wait for it.
Absolutely. We got calling you out for your blasphemy here, EBB. We also got Kid Get Money saying Romeo on top for a reason. Alan Weinstein says Cole will be champion, but not now. CM says it depends on who wins the tag titles. Red Dragon wins, Cole wins. Bucks win, Hangman wins.
I like that line of thinking. And if you saw my picks, I do have Red Dragon winning.
And Alan Weinstein says after these picks, Romeo will be at the bottom of the trio.
No, there's no way possible, because I am at least making predictions.
Yeah, drunk guy JJ is gonna lose after, when you ask him what's your sacrifice picks, and he just doesn't answer.
He doesn't respond.
But let's talk about the real main event, shall we? Y'all ready? Dog collar match. CM Punk will go one-on-one with Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. It all started on the Dynamite after Full Gear. MJF was the cat on the town. He just defeated Darby Allin. He defeated all the four pillars. He knew that he had his aim on the AEW World Championship, but it was none other than CM Punk that interrupted him. He offered a handshake to CM Punk, who turned him down. The following week, they threw fire at each other on a promo segment, a very memorable promo segment where Punk referred to MJF as a less famous Miz, while MJF made references to Punk's failed UFC career, as well as feeling inferior to Triple H and John Cena. There was the memorable six-man tag team matchup with FTR and MJF versus Sting and Darby Allin with the face paint on the Holiday Bash. There was CM Punk costing MJF his first match of 2022. There was the Wardlow match where he just wanted Wardlow to destroy CM Punk, leading to Wardlow losing. There was the matchup in Chicago where MJF defeated CM Punk twice in his hometown. There was the celebration the following week that led to CM Punk versus John Moxley, CM Punk and John Moxley versus FTR, where he got the opportunity for this matchup, making it a dog collar match in a fantastic promo, showing the picture, which brought back all the memories to MJF, who gave us the incredible villain monologue origin story 2 weeks ago on Dynamite. In just a position to that, we got CM Punk with the former villain turned hero trying to be the better person promo this week on Dynamite, with the handshake, with the hand being extended and the hug leading to the great go home angle where MJF revealed the devil to CM Punk, and the devil was him, repeating the lines that CM Punk said during his Summer of Punk promo heel turn back in 2005. My God, first, I want to ask both of y'all, is this the best pay-per-view build-up to a match ever for AEW? And who wins, MJF or CM Punk? Romeo?
Yes, it is. I got a little worried a couple of weeks there when it seemed like Wardlow was at the forefront of this. It seemed like Wardlow MJF was bigger than MJF and Punk, but they got right back on track in a hurry. That was some legendary shit. And let me tell you, MJF has already won. He's already won. First of all, he beat Punk twice. And second of all, this whole lead up, all these promos, all that, the turn last week, MJF won. MJF won. Now it's time for Punk to get his little payback, his little victory. And MJF does not do good at the end of feud matches. If this is the end of feud, I think it's the end of the feud for now. For now, at least, we can come back to it maybe all out in Chicago. But CM Punk wins here.
Chris G?
You can't have Phil bleeding like that and then have him lose the fucking at the pay-per-view.
Bleeding again, too?
Yeah, man. He's going to go bleed again, pal. This time you're going to fucking lose. No, I don't see it happening. My man Punk's going to get that W.
before 8 p.m. on March 2nd, 2022. I was adamant that MJF needed to win this match. He had to win this match, be undefeated against Punk before he gets his AEW World Championship, which I believe should be at Double or Nothing 2022 back in Las Vegas, back in the place he first saw the AEW World title in a segment that also featured Hangman Adam Page. I think all of that is going to happen with him winning the title, but you got to set up a main challenger for him for the pay-per-view after that. Tony Khan and AEW, they think long-term. So, yes, I do agree. CM Punk does get the victory here. He can't bleed like a stuffed pig, just being gutted on Wednesday and then lose on Sunday as well. I think both men are going to be bleeding. I think this is going to be a bloodbath. I agree with a sentiment that I heard Dave Meltzer say. I wish this was an unsanctioned dog collar match, so it could have been the main event, because I don't think anything is going to be able to really follow this because of the motion that this has drawn up, especially over the last month. Like, I agree with Romeo. Going into their match in Chicago, I was feeling like MJF versus Wardlow was bigger than CM Punk and MJF. But in a 40-plus minute match, they turned that all around. In 40 minutes, they left so much on the bone that I was more, because of the finish and how it ended, I was more interested in that feud going further. And then all the promo work, the great tag team match with Moxley and Punk versus FTR, the fantastic promos over the last 2 weeks. This has been, honestly, I would rank it number 2 in the greatest AEW storyline / feuds in their history, right behind Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. And I think that's right before Revolution. I'm saying this 2 days before Revolution, depending on how this Dark Collar match is, and I expect it to be fantastic. I think that this might take the place as the greatest AEW feud of all time, but I do got CM Punk winning to set him up as MJF's challenger for the AEW World title at All Out 2022.
100% agreed with what you just said. MJF can always still say he beat Punk 2 out of 3, and he can also blame the stipulation, a dog collar match, like blah, 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 I beat you in regular matches.
And it sets up at All Out 2022, he wins the rubber match. And then he could say, I'm 3-0 against CM Punk in Chicago.
There you go. That one he better win. I'll be pissed. I would too.
We got a couple of predictions here. We got CM Chris saying CM Punk easy. I mean, that's your father. You're CM Chris, CM Punk.
There's no bias there.
There's no bias at all. We got EBB with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, EBB. As always, we always appreciate your support, your comments in the live chat, saying, what would be your match order? Great stream, lads. Romeo, what would be your match order?
I would start with Rose and Baker, and I would end with MJF and Punk. And you can mix it up however you want to be in the middle of that. Obviously, keep some breaks between the triple threat tag and
knowing that Cole and Page is going to be the main event. How would you?
Then you got to put that sucks, because I think then you got to put Punk MJF much further away from the main event, because everyone's gonna be gassed out from that.
I think they should book it like they should put Punk MJF in the Full Gear Punk Kingston spot of like second before the main event, where there's a match to buffer. And I think the match to buffer is that Tornado Trios match. Once again, where Sammy was the buffer before Page and Omega have Full Gear in that 5-on-5 with Inner Circle and American Top Team.
Yeah, I could see that. You could also throw Jade and Ty in there.
I would want them to be probably like earlier in the card. I think Rosa and Baker probably middle of the card for me. I would open with the ladder match. Then do Jade, Ty. Then I would do the 3-way tag team title match, because there has to be a buffer between that and the ladder match. So then you do the 3-way tag team title match. Then do Kingston and Jericho. Then do Rosa and Baker. Then Moxley and They hit him with the two bangers back to back. Moxley and Danielson, the dog collar match. You're gonna see blood all spattered all over.
Oh my god, the most bloodiest freaking hour of all time. You just booked.
Then
Paul Heyman.
Then the Tornado Trios match, and then Cole and Page.
I need a blood break.
Fuck, Abdullah the Butcher was in this match. What's going on?
Punk and MJF is not going to hit as hard if it follows another bloody war, you know?
All right, you put a buffer in between those. We'll move one over.
That's funny. It'll be a roller coaster of a night.
Absolutely. What about you, Christy? What's your match order?
Yeah, I would start off with the ladder match. Basically the same way you had it. You got to have those buffers in between. That's how it flows. It'll flow good.
Absolutely. We got Alan Weinstein, who says MJF beats Punk again. I think Punk loses and then down 0-3 eventually beats MJF for the AEW title. Was down the road as the conquering hero.
I mean, I'll root for it. I'm rooting for MJF, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'd rather MJF get the definitive blow off to this. Yeah, the definitive blow off win in this whole feud at All Out 2022 at least for the end of the year. I think this joint has been so good. You might want to go back to it later on and down the road. It might be something that kind of defines MJF's career or run in AEW. We got more comments here. We got Bill's Mafia SCF who says, I would just make sure after Punk MJF is that tornado tag. We're definitely in agreement there. Like that needs to be the match where the fans can just get kind of into it as it goes along. Like give them about like anywhere between 12 and 15 minutes where you understand the first 5 to 6 minutes. No one's going to be paying attention as they're just getting over and typing out tweets on social media about MJF and Punk. But don't do Cole and Page like that and make that the semi-main event before Cole and Page. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
And they were smart with All Out because they also did a buffer between Punk and Darby and the main event as well. So they know this. Hopefully they will.
Who was in that? Do you remember?
I think it was QT and Paul White, maybe. I didn't say it was a good buffer, but it was a buffer. So that is all for our preview and predictions for AEW Revolution 2022. For our Patreon backers, patreon.com/True Hill Heat, you become a part of the True Hill Heat Prediction Championship, which, of course, Romeo has reminded us several times throughout this stream. He is sitting at the #1 spot.
That's right.
I am tied for third place right now, so I'm working my way through the rankings, but you could become a part of the Prediction Championship and give your predictions for AEW Revolution 2022. Romeo, I think I got to give it to you for the duties of posting that up on Patreon for all of our backers. I've seen a few of y'all in the live chat giving your predictions. You can let it be known there so Romeo can keep account of it. And we always appreciate your support over there and having some fun with us predicting these cards for AEW, WWE, Impact, and whatsoever. So, but Chris G, please let the people know where they can find you on social media as we sign things off.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TrueHeelChrisG. And of course, every Tuesday here on the YouTube channel, NX3 with Romeo and our good brother, the 3-time baby making championess. And every Thursday night, Blunt Impact Live covering Impact Wrestling with the 3-time baby making championess. And tomorrow, the Sacrifice Watch Along /UFC 272, I think is the number. There we go, 272. We'll be there. Bring your beers, bring your weed. It's gonna be a good time.
Absolutely. Also, later tonight, me and Chris G drop our Impact Wrestling Sacrifice preview and predictions as well. yes, we're going to also have that up on our Patreon as well for all of our backers to give their predictions for that card as well. But you can also join us during the premiere for that and give your predictions in either the live chat or in the comments down below if you watch it on demand. Romeo, where can the people find you and what you got on tap?
True Hill Romeo on Twitter and Instagram, right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Mondays, Rated Raw Superstars. Tuesdays, NX3. Wednesdays, Dynamite Watch-Alongs. Fridays, SmackDown Reviews over on the Daily Slam YouTube channel. I'll pop in and out of True Hill Heat tomorrow, 165. We also have Saturday night, as Chris told you, Sacrifice and UFC. Sunday night, the Watch-Along for Revolution. The only way to watch this is with us. Join us,
Absolutely.
please.
The best way.
And also,
the best.
True Rewind 69, a little pre-show to Revolution. It'll be on the Fightful Overbook channel on Sunday. Birthday cake. Join us for that.
Very, very fitting.
Oh,
You couldn't have timed it better. You couldn't have timed it better.
That was just great. Look at the police is coming for you outside here in
That was hot.
hot stuff, baby. There you go. You got a lot on tap from the True Hill Heat fam, not just here, but on Fightful Overbooked, on the Daily Slam. You can see me over on the Believe in Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. We did a preview and predictions for AEW Revolution over there as well. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at True Hill SP3, my written work at sportskita.com and wrestletalk.com. Speaking of Sportskita, later on tonight, following Rampage and SmackDown, it will be myself, Rick Ucchino, and Dutch Mantel reviewing both shows on the Sportskita Wrestling YouTube channel. So you can go over there and subscribe for that later on tonight. And like Romeo said, I'll be back here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, True Hill Heat 165. Myself, Miss Chrissy Love, not Top Guy JJ, but filling in special guests Alex McCarthy and Sat E. Nayangi. So it's going to be a great time with a Daily Boys reunion. Final comments before we sign off. We got M. Katsu says, wait, didn't TK say that Paige Cole is the main event? Yes. I booked it the way he would. I booked it the way he would. With Paige and Cole as the main event. EBB says, still waiting on the pay-per-view main event worthy feud. Paul White versus Billy Gunn. He wants it so bad.
And that's BB in timeout for that.
Oh man! Kid Get Money says, "Where can I find Chris G's co-host at?"
I don't know, man. I don't know where you live. Depends where you live at.
It depends.
That co-host, he's
no, I think he's talking about the female one. It just depends on which block you live on, man.
Call the right person. That's it.
MCAT's talking about the AEW Rampage TNT three-way match is going to be fire. And thank you, MCAT. He says, I'm trying to outwork Denise Salcedo. I don't think anybody can, but I'll take second place. Second place is fine by me.
One more prediction. I don't know if you guys said, do you think Christian or Ethan Page is going to be in that ladder match?
I think Christian is going to be. You have a bunch of guys that are good workers, but none of them are like experts in ladder match. And you have
the
put
that match together,
the goat of putting together ladder match. Yeah, like he's like, oh, I got three big dudes, Ricky Starks, who can kind of do a lot of different things. Orange Cassidy and his character. Put me in that, Tony. I haven't wrestled all year. Put me in that.
Can you imagine Christian like in the huddle and he's just like, all right, everybody's just like, all right, Christian, what are we gonna do? He's like, all right, you're gonna trust this fucking guy over there. He's just like pointing and directing the whole match. I could see it happen.
Yo, it just makes sense. I mean, Ethan Page winning also makes a lot of sense because he debuted in last year's Face of the Revolution ladder match, and he's been kind of hovering around that TNT title scene for a while. But yeah, I think Christian gets the victory. What about the TNT title? Do you think they're going to take it off Sammy?
I wish.
I would love to see Andrade
win
it, but I don't know.
No.
I don't think so. I think Sammy
I have
wins.
all of the hope and none of the faith.
But that's a big win for him to get before he eventually loses to Keith Lee. There you go. Yeah, either or. But set it up nicely. Of course, we will talk about AEW Rampage tomorrow on True Hill Heat 165, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Stay locked here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Later on tonight, me and Chris G, Impact Wrestling, Sacrifice preview and predictions. But this has been our AEW Revolution preview and predictions. For Chris G, for Romeo, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. And we are signing off until next time.